Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through March 2025. Brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. My name's Randall. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. And the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides, starting as always with City of Prescott median sales price per square foot. Aren't we looking good? Okay, so every dot is a result in that month. The blue line is last year, the red line is this year. Comparing this year to last year, we're up 8%. That's the biggest spike we've seen in a while. We did beat out last year, last month. We've kind of been jumping up and down, up and down. Now we're about 8 points ahead. Be interesting to see what happens next month. Keep our trend up. Not too hopeful, honestly, but it's nice to see an 8% spike for the month of March. Turning now to our transaction volume, same thing. The result, each dot is a result. Blue line is last year, red line is this year. This line has been crazy for over a year now, a year and a half. I mean, it's just shucking and jiving and jiving and shucking, and some of this is just like I know November, there's a lot of mix up here because last year's November had a weird fall of the Thanksgiving was very early, so it screwed up a bunch of the figures, blah, blah, blah. Now it looks like we've kind of settled out, but we're dipping below volume last year in March. We're about on par with volumes in January, December. So we're not seeing a whole lot of action, even though the prices are looking good. And that should mean that our inventory is going up, and it is. We've got 613 homes on inventory right now. Last month was 5 something. I have another chart that goes through that, but definitely a nice little spike. I want to say 20%. We'll take a look at it in a bit. This is our pending ratio analysis. So we do the pending ratio analysis to determine what kind of market is it. Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? Well, the way that we do that's with the pending ratio. So we had 613 homes on the market when I ran this, 114 of which were already pending. That is a 19% pending ratio because 114 is 19% of 613. You take the 19 and you look it up in our handy dandy colored chart, you can see 19 is just between a strong buyer's market and a buyer's market. So we're still very much a buyer's market, has been for years now. A lot of people, particularly our sellers, are not getting that, but it is in fact the case. Looking at this broken up by price point is kind of what this chart does. So the bars here down at the bottom, that is the number of homes that closed in that price point in this past month. So you can see the volume. We've got a bunch of them, 1.2 million and higher. We got a kind of a big high-end market that's sort of developing here in Prescott. Usually what you see is as you go to the higher and higher price points, the pending rate, by the way, this is the pending ratio for those price points. Your pending ratio tends to go down. For some reason, we see these spikes in the 700s. So while 600 is a strong buyer's market, 700 is just a buyer's market. Now, that's not a big difference, but enough to kind of be interesting. These higher price points are less competitive or less of a buyer's market than the lower items, which is kind of interesting. And then we get to the millions, and it's an extreme buyer's market. But then you get to 1.2, and it's just a buyer's market. So you've been seeing this little hockey stick kind of pattern now for a while. And so anyway, this month we're seeing it as well. So how long does it take for a home to sell in Prescott? Answer, 6.2 months. That is 6.2 months until we get to a contract, and almost a month and a half in escrow. This jumps around every month. I think last month it was 1 month. Now it's 1.4. It just kind of depends on what kind of transactions we have. I guess if they're contingencies and the like, those escrows get longer. But that is the story, 6.2 months. Turning now to Prescott Valley, looking at the median sales price per square foot. Now that is a nice boring chart. We have been in lockstep for a long, long time. I don't know why we're just not getting all the noise like we do in Prescott. If anything, you would expect the lower volumes there'd be more noise, but that's just not the case. We've been keeping at about a 7% appreciation rate over last year for the last 6 months or so. Turning now to our transaction volume, we're right in step with last year. This little anomaly is that's Thanksgiving last year that did that. This is just in lockstep, a little below last year, and it has been that way since January. It is also a buyer's market, but not as strong as Prescott. Their pending ratio is 21. There were 325 homes on the market. 68 of them were already pending, so that's 21%. Just over the buyer's market. So a little less of a buyer's market in PV. We've been seeing that pattern for a while. Here is the broken out by price point. We see this little jump in the 900s. That's just a popular price point out there. I don't know why it does this, but you get to the 900, you get this jump. Now, in Prescott Valley, you don't have as much going on in the high-end values. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of faith in this hockey stick-looking thing, except for maybe the 1.2. That's a lot more homes being sold out there in that price point than we used to see, and that's a balanced market. So interesting dynamic over there in Prescott Valley. How long does it take for homes to sell? 3.8 months. So not quite half, but pretty close to it. Half as long to sell in Prescott Valley, and their escrow has been running right on 30 days. So here's our highlight chart. In Prescott, we had a median sales price per square foot of $336. That is 8% over last year, 6% just over last month. So we had a nice little spike for the month of March. In Prescott Valley, the median price per square foot is $304, which is 7% higher than last year, 3% higher than last month. Looking at volumes, we're at 81 homes sold in the month of March. That is 12% lower than last year and 8% lower than last month. So while the prices are going up, the volume's going down. Doesn't look sustainable to me. Going to Prescott Valley, we had 67 homes closed in the month of March. That is a 31% increase over February. And that's typically what you see for March. So this is some slow stuff happening over in Prescott. That is 11% lower than last year. But as we've been saying, our volumes have been lower than last year pretty much every month in PV. Inventory is at 613 in Prescott. That's an 8% jump. That's part of the reason you see in the volume going down and the prices going up. Now inventory's going up. So yeah, the story's just been flat in Prescott. It's just flat. And I'm kind of expecting that price bump to come back next month, but we'll see. And Prescott Valley inventory's at 325. That's also 8% month change from last month. And months to contract, we're at 6.2 months to a contract in Prescott. That's almost a month longer than last month. And Prescott Valley moving in the other direction about a month faster. So we're at 3.8. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It is sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes.
We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady.
And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.